The higher the trial EXP we have, the more content and bonuses we unlock. I don't mean we need to rush, but you should see it as a main objective, at least to level 60. Many would even tell you to save your commission manuals until you get to level 55 or even 60. Yet, if they are used to get you closer to that objective, I don't see the wrong in it, as long as it's not for secret letter farming. Unlike traditional RPGs, MMOs, or even other gacha games, we cannot spam dungeons or bosses to level up the account. We can look at the Earn EXP tab where it shows how much we've gained and where the rest of the EXP is. Since the game feels like a character collection title, trial EXP is the completion system. You only get EXP from obtaining and unlocking things once. You get a lot of EXP from ascending them and some EXP from getting their dupes. So, the more characters and weapons you have, the more EXP you can get. But unlocking and ascending characters is way faster and cheaper than it is for weapons. In the long run, since the game planned to add new characters and weapons every month, that means there will be more sources to gain EXP, the older the game is. In version 1.1, you can use the story skip feature to immediately access core mechanics like commissions and forging. Anemo, Hydra, and Psyche are the focal points of the 1.1 immersive theater. The upcoming Anemo Demon Wedges will significantly boost Psyche's power. To maintain focus and avoid burnout, follow these checklists when you feel stuck. Obtain a bra box with the Death trait. Maximize your main DPS. Focus on a character to clear stages and bosses. Lin and Psyche are excellent for clearing stages. Info is superior for instant boss kills. If you prioritize immersive theater, Psyche is the optimal pick for 1.1. Upgrading includes levels, ascension, skills, and filling Demon Wedges slot. Maximize your farming unit. Invest in Rebecca and later Rhythm once he hits the secret letter shop. Pina is also a viable dealer. While Lin and Psyche can farm, they require more active manual targeting. Start with level 10, then level 30 exploration using the counter element. Example is going Pyro with Rebecca, which grants a 400% damage boost. To make it more efficient, farm to get the ascension materials needed for all characters you have, so you won't just sit in an element. Come back to the counter element when you have them covered. Upgrade Introns or get duplicates. Aim for I2 or Intron 2 for farming units and limited characters to hit their efficiency spikes. For main DPS units, progress their Introns as high as possible.
Come closer.
Unlock characters. Once your farming time is stable, buy letters to unlock new characters for EXP or experimentation, focusing first on getting combat partners. Unlock weapons and forging. Level 45 defense is the sweet spot for Luno coin farming as the yield is high relative to difficulty. For excavation, use co-op. If you prefer not to solo, start investing in the Mystic Maze for rewards that scale at level 60. Demon Wedging. Fill slots for your main, on characters, and consonance weapons. Target Noctojäger level 65 or element-specific wedges. Nursing Ascent and Master Commission. Tackle early acts of immersive theater once you have 2 DPS units and 6 weapons. Develop your own farming simulator style for commissions to maximize loot efficiency. Commission manuals. Purchase this with Foxine from events or subs. If crafting, only upgrade from tier 2 to tier 3. The leveling method remains consistent here. By now you likely have most characters. Focus on ascending them and unlocking weapons. Prioritize farming ascension materials for your main units first. Clear out excessive secret letters on units weapons you already maxed out to keep your selection organized. Note that the jump from 59 to 60 feels significantly slower than 60 to 62. This is where you max out characters, levels, and skills. Ascending from 70 to 80 provides massive EXP. If you were farming Ascension materials before secret level farming, all you need now is just a coin. The final Mystic Maze stage opens here. A max sniffle makes coin farming effortless. You can also farm Bounty Chase or try building the characters you personally enjoy. At this point, simply log in for dailies, play at your own pace, and enjoy the content. Duet Night Abyss is effectively a no gacha game that incorporates gacha elements. I remain hopeful about its future, though I want to focus specifically on the current state of the game. First, the developers are clearly still experimenting with implementation and monetization. If farmable items always include a buy option, it shifts player perception. The game risks being viewed as greedy. For example, boosters like Stimulator are priced so high that players hesitate to buy them. While there are players who might buy that, some players settle for purple tier items, and others choose to grind. These choices provide the devs with data on their player base. The game can feel incredibly grindy, especially with the latest wedges. It raises a question: do we enjoy the process of getting stronger, or do we just want power? It's the difference between focus training and using steroids. Both are fine provided there is moderation. Regarding the recent elevator nerf and changes to immersive theater, while I don't personally mind them, I worry they increase the playtime required for new players to level up their trial level. However, this may be a temporary issue until Rhythm is added to the secret letter shop. Psyche was the first character introduced to immersive theater in October. From October through December, the theater has consistently favored animal characters. By the third rotation, the buffs and debuffs favored Psyche so heavily that many players, myself included, became frustrated. We saw Fina in November and Fushu in December. Keizo arrives in January, which is also when Rhythm goes on sale. This marks the period where Rhythm's profitability will likely decline, with Psyche following suit. This leaves us wondering, will the January theater favor Anemo yet again? Historically, the first three theater rotations favored the element of the featured character. This suggests Lumino should be the focus of the fourth. Since Psyche and Anemo are getting new wedges in this update, it would be strange to exclude them, especially in what could be Psyche's final month. However, locking Anemo out is also a possibility. Personally, I hope for Electro. Here's my takeaway. Using Psyche as the starting point, we see a cycle. The first month featured a DPS, followed by 2 months of supports, and now a fourth month with a DPS. If we assume new characters have a 4-month exclusivity window, it allows the developer time to transition between elements and roles. Psyche essentially passes the baton to Keizo and the cycle repeats. If the developers are moving toward a new meta element, you might ask, why introduce new demon wedges on her 4th month? It's a strategic move. Even after Psyche passes the baton to Keizo, she isn't going to disappear. These new wedges ensure she keeps her momentum, staying at the front of the pack until Keizo can match her speed. I don't believe they will kill Anemo immediately. Doing so would alienate the players who have heavily invested in the current update's direction. In fact, as the first exclusive character, Psyche might remain a fixture in Nocturnal Echoes for months, outlasting the older characters before her. Indirectly, the game is hinting that Anemo is intended to be the first true meta element. DNA doesn't state it explicitly, and many players are resistant to the idea. As a retired or casual gacha gamer, I've seen how most games try to control their players. They create a solution first, then manufacture a problem to justify it, trying to convince us that what they want is what we need. However, Duet Night Abyss seems to be taking a different approach. They started by offering 2-element options for immersive theater and quickly addressed the damage reduction bugs. They are enforcing a single path. If things get too restrictive, removing the timer remains the last resort option. This would keep the challenges and rules intact while ensuring every character, regardless of the meta, actually has a chance to shine. As for the future, Fina in February, Fushu in March, and Keizo in April, It is possible they will introduce another DPS after Keizo. The current trickle of information isn't enough to confirm the long-term pattern of immersive theater. It feels like the developers are still testing how to turn this mode into both viable endgame content and a method for acquiring new characters. I just hope they remember that new players often join for the new shiny character, not to spend 3 minutes fighting a crystallophile.
I will punish those who aren't faithful to love in the God of Love's name.